First at 4, the parents of the Oxford school shooter fought to get their charges dropped. Now they're asking for something new, and prosecutors agree. Michigan football coach Jim Harbaugh faces reporters for the first time since his suspension. We are live with what he said and what he didn't say. It's a pretty fall day right now with a live look at Southfield. Where do temperatures stand for the rest of the week? We are working on the forewarned forecast. Plus, here's Hank.
Hey, Karen, get ready, Detroit. I need your help. A big event planned here at the Somerset Collection starting tomorrow. How you can make a huge difference in a child's life. Coming up live.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, the University of Michigan football program is under a white-hot spotlight right now with its head coach suspended and the team undefeated. So today, Coach Jim Harbaugh spoke to reporters for the first time since getting news of his suspension on Friday. Rod Maloney was there. He joins us now. And Rod, the coach seemed to dance around some key questions today.
Well, yeah, like, what was his reaction to getting suspended? He wouldn't come out directly and say that. And, of course, when you go to a Jim Harbaugh news conference, you have to listen. I mean, when you go to any news conference, you're listening. But with him, it's particularly important because he can drop in little things here and there that you have to be listening for in order to hear. That was kind of the case today because he did take some shots at the Big Ten without doing it overtly. He also said he wasn't going to talk about what he wants to talk about, which he says is his suspension from the team, at least on game day, because he says he wants to talk about it Friday in the courthouse. But take a listen to this one particular soundbite where he gets a shot in at the Big Ten and also talks about his team and how happy he is with his players and the work that they're doing.
It's got to be America's team. It's got to be America's team. America loves a team that beats the odds, beats the adversity, overcomes what the naysayers and critics, so-called experts think. That's my favorite kind of team, and yeah, watching it from that view on the television, it was finally people get to see what I see every day, in these players and these coaches.
He kind of went out of his way to say that it wasn't the players that did anything, and he wants due process for his coaching staff. But he says that he made it clear that he believes the Big Ten is not giving them that. Of course, on the flip side of that, the Big Ten is saying essentially University of Michigan cheated. And they say they've got the proof of that from the NCAA, but it's an investigation that hasn't been fully completed yet. So come Friday, when they get to the courthouse, we may hear from Jim Harbaugh, and we'll also find out whether he might be on the sidelines this coming weekend against Maryland, and even perhaps the weekend thereafter against Ohio State. Stay tuned. We'll be there.
Big
Reporting
story.
live in Ann Arbor, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Rod. There's a new twist in the upcoming trial facing the parents of the Oxford high school shooter. Jennifer and James Crumbley both requesting separate trials. Now, until now, they've been scheduled to stand trial together in late January. They've tried several times to get charges of involuntary manslaughter dropped, but the courts have refused. Attorneys for both Crumbleys now say new discovery information uncovered a possible conflict. Meantime, Oakland County prosecutors deny that conflict just came to light, but have filed motions agreeing with the Crumbleys' requests. We are digging into those motions, and we'll have some expert analysis what all this means. And the judge we just have heard has now granted those separate trials for the parents of the Oxford school shooter. This is just coming into the newsroom. Again, separate trials for these two parents, and this is going to be in the national spotlight, clearly, because a case like this has never been seen. We'll be following it and have more details at 5. Disturbing evidence right now revealed in court against a former basketball coach at Farmington High School. 43-year-old Jeremy Tomkins is accused of sexually assaulting 2 of his players, one 15 and the other 16 years old. During a preliminary exam, one of those students explained how he and other boys spent up to 5 nights a week at Tomkins' home on October 7th. The 16-year-old says Tomkins gave him a massage, which led to fondling, and the coach telling him he thought the teen wanted those advances.
I was confused, and I was like, what made you think that?
Did he say anything back to you?
Yes, he said because of the conversation that we had downstairs.
Did you know what he was talking about?
No.
Today's hearing is putting evidence on the record so the judge can decide if the case goes to trial. Tomkins was fired right after the accusations went public. City of Detroit celebrating a big employment milestone and says training is available for more people to join a growing workforce. Right now, Mayor Mike Duggan says 237,000 people are employed in the city of Detroit. He says that's the largest number in more than a decade. And there are 7,000 open jobs right now waiting to be filled. The city is also offering $100 million in scholarships to help people if they need more education to get those jobs.
People don't think it's real, and it is. We have these jobs for you, and if you say, oh, no, I can't get them, I don't even have a high school degree. We have GED programs, and we will pay you to take your high school classes so you can get them. You say, oh, I can't take high school classes, I don't read well enough. That's okay. We have literacy programs, and we'll pay you to go to the literacy classes to open up those doors.
You can find more information on those scholarships at DetroitAtWork.com. The $100 million comes from the American Rescue Plan legislation. As we head into the first forecast, just take a look at those American flags flapping in downtown Detroit. We're seeing some powerful gusts this afternoon. The question, will things calm down tonight? Ron Hilliard is standing by with a preview. Good afternoon, Ron.
Good afternoon to you, Karen. It is a pleasant day to fly a kite or to maybe put up those holiday Christmas lights. Now, looking outside, it's beautiful out there. That shot comes from Windsor. It's 61 right now in Detroit, 57 in both Howell and Pontiac, 60 and Adrian. Those winds, though, look at that sustained winds out of the west-northwest at 24 miles per hour in Pontiac. So because of the winds, we do have a small crowd advisory that continues until 11 o'clock tonight for our shoreline communities along Lake Huron, and that again goes until 11 o'clock. Clouds are free in our area. None of that happening. We have all that sunshine, and it is going to last a little bit longer, but I'll tell you how long it lasts this week and also the next chance of rain, and it's in our forecast. Karen?
All right. Thank you, Ron. This afternoon, President Biden is calling for Israel to take less intrusive action against Hamas as battles rage around hospitals in the Gaza Strip. Take a look at some of the heavy damage surrounding one hospital in the northern part of the territory. Hospitals were the last shelters for many Palestinians. The latest attacks have stranded critically wounded patients, including newborns and their caregivers. Israel says it's hunting Hamas after deadly attacks that killed 1,400 and took more than 200 hostages. The death toll in Gaza was more than 11,000 on Friday. U.S. government is 4 days away from another possible shutdown, and the House Speaker's newest plan doesn't seem to be winning much support. Republican Mike Johnson unveiled a two-step plan Saturday to extend some funding until January 19th and then pushing the deadline to February for others. A few conservative members of his party don't like it, which means Johnson might have to work with Democrats. And that move got former Speaker Kevin McCarthy booted from office, if you recall. Senate Democrats don't like it much either, but want to avoid a shutdown. We will keep you posted. Well, as we head into the holiday season, we know some Metro Detroit families struggle to put gifts under the Christmas tree. And that is where Toys for Tots can really help spread some extra joy. And Help Me Hank is leaping into action for us. Hank Winchester coordinating a special event. He joins us live from Somerset Collection to talk about the need. And Hank, so many kids benefit from this program.
Karen, it is huge, and I know you're going to come out and join me tomorrow. That is what I need. I need all of you at home, if you're watching, to stop on by tomorrow. I want to show you where I'm going to be. This is the Somerset Collection parking lot, Macy's. Penske trucks, they're going to be set up here in the main parking lot, and as Karen mentioned, the goal is simple. It's to make sure every single child here in Metro Detroit has a gift this holiday season. Toys for Tots, you know what they do, and they need your help. We want to make sure every child has a happy holiday season, and the need this year greater than ever before. The reality is a lot of people are living check to check. So are you concerned about the number of donations that might be coming in?
You know, every year, that's a big question mark, right? Like, are we going to get enough toys? Are we going to get enough support from the community? And every year, Honestly, the community just shows up.
Noble Baird chairs the toy collection efforts in Oakland County. But kids all over are in need of help, and that's where your donation comes in. The numbers are surprising. Last year, Toys for Tots delivering more than 23 million toys across the country to roughly 9 million children in need. Here in Metro Detroit, more than 30,000 children will receive a toy from Toys for Tots. And it's not just in urban areas. Toys for Tots works with families in Oakland, Wayne, Macomb, Livingston, and Washtenaw counties. Do you find that people buy more for little girls maybe than they do for boys, or maybe they buy more for little kids as opposed to older kids?
It's definitely easier to buy for the little kids.
Yeah.
You know, you walk into any store and the kids, kids aisles for the 0 to 3 year olds, the toddlers are filled up, stacked,
Yeah.
man, right?
Times are tough for many, but people in this community, well, we know they're generous. Know the toy that you donated will make a big difference in a local child's life. The need is not centralized into one particular neighborhood. I mean, we're talking Monroe to Clarkston, Port Huron, past Ann Arbor. I mean, it is all of Metro Detroit where you hear from families.
It does not matter where you may live. It doesn't matter what you live in, you know what I mean? What district, whatever, like you said.
A big thank you to the Somerset Collection for partnering with us, Penske Trucks for providing the transportation and the help, and most importantly, thank you. Back out here live, new tonight at 6 o'clock, you're going to meet a family that benefits from the toys that are collected each and every year. Karen, the great news about tomorrow is we have plenty of options for you to stop on by, maybe on the way to work. We'll be here at 6 a.m. Throughout the day, stop at the lunch hour, maybe grab some Chick-fil-A here inside the mall, come say hello. We'll be here until 6:30. So all day long, all we need and hope for, unwrapped new toys here at the Somerset Collection North. And Karen, I know you're going to stop out and say hello too.
I'll bring you a coffee to keep you awake because you're going to get up early, right?
Good. Yes. Yes, I will take that coffee.
I will get it for you. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you tomorrow morning. Thanks, Hank. A reminder, if you can help Metro Detroit families this holiday season, you can join Hank tomorrow at Somerset Collection North, as he said. Bring your donated toy to the Macy's parking lot off of Big Beaver Road. It's an all-day event, so it's pretty easy for you to find that time. You got 6 a.m. to 6:30 in the evening, and we're also going to have live coverage throughout the day. We would love for you to stop by.